Okay, good morning. So, we're gonna go ahead and see if we can't get this thing rolling. I'm gonna spark in the dark. We're gonna take it out of the window mode for right now. It's because it drives me crazy to look at it like that. Okay, so we're gonna mix it up a little bit. Normally I'd be doing DDO right now, but the servers are off. So I'm gonna try this for a minute. Now, full disclosure, I did play this last night. So far I managed to fall down into a dark hole and achieve nothing else. So we're gonna start with a new game, and there's 4 classes. You got a blacksmith. He's basically your heavy class. He's all about hammer, medium armor, heavy armors, and shields. So he's like the heavy. He's the only guy that comes with heavy armor proficiency right out of the gate. He was pretty good, actually. He was the guy I got the second farthest with. The warrior, he has proficiency with all the weapons and medium armor, and he's the best with the shield. I didn't have great luck with him. And then I got the furthest last night with the hunter. I don't know how you describe him. I guess he's like a ranger. And despite the way this looks, he doesn't fight two-handed. I don't know how to equip a weapon in both hands, if there is a way to do that. But I got the farthest with him, and I have yet to play the thief. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the hunter again, so I have pretty good luck with him. I'm not sure what Ripper is. Not sure what that does. I know that he can, in fact, make poisons. So remains to be seen. We're gonna go with Forgotten Dungeon. This has less monsters and more time to look around. It is plenty hard enough. You don't need help to die in this game. So anyway, this is a Dargroth. This place is shrouded in darkness and mystery. There are terrible legends. It has been full of bloody things for centuries. The Endless Dungeon. A mighty civilization was here, so old people say. This place has been a haven for darkness and horrific creatures now, so alien to our world, so ancient it remains. Oh, spacebar. The cursed garrison watches this dangerous dungeon day and night. Outcasts, scammers, offenders, and other reprobates were sent here to repent for their sins. People say it's better to die on the scaffold than to get sent to this rotten place. Full disclosure, some of the English gets a little janky in this. I believe this is a Russian game, and you will see that very quickly. It has that very, what's the word I'm looking for? Slavic grimness to it. Hunter, you have always looked for justice and finally found it. A snotty noble bastard accidentally killed a royal deer while hunting, and you were accused of it. So by a ridiculous accident, you are here in the cursed garrison, and your young wife has been alone since then. During the service, you had several years to reflect on your justice of life. Now you are on the hunt again, but this time the price of a mistake is death. And it seems to take a little bit to load. I'm not sure what's going on exactly. As far as I can tell, that it's not procedural. The map has been exactly the same every time. All right, so I'm going to try to not be janky in this. The first thing that I noticed was that the controls get a little bit weird. And so the first thing you run into is this guy, and it's a farewell letter. My friend, I heard that the Tower Lord ordered your squad to make a sortie into the dungeon. Fucking son of a bitch. This bastard sent you to certain death in the garrison and has blood and shit every day. Blood and shit. Good old friend, it's stupid to hope that you will come back from there. The darkness of the dungeons does not spare anyone. But be careful and look out for yourself, and if the damn creatures will press you against the wall, remember about your faithful friend in the last time. Good luck and sharp blade in your hand. Okay, so the first thing you realize is that you'll see that the darkness is pressing in around me. So what you need to do is come over here. And these lamps, again, there's no mouse cursor, which I find really confusing. And he seems to be sliding around on the ground. I don't know what's going on there. And you can only change the angle a little bit with the middle mouse wheel. So like I found that a little bit disorienting as well. A giant monolith rises imposing in the middle of the hall. Every side is covered with metal slabs and gold circles and unknown symbols. So basically, as you can see, we picked up, you can see it on the back of my pelt. I don't know if I can zoom in a little bit more there for you. You get a lantern. but you can see that it has an extremely limited amount of time. Now you can pick stuff up off the ground. As a hunter, we don't really need this stuff, but you can look at all this thing. A terrible looking man who, on whose face a grimace of horror froze in the last moments of his life. So you pick up the coins and you just loot all that. And so you're like, oh man, I'm getting rich, I'm finding coins. But the actual truth is you're not finding coins. I probably should have read that before it disappeared. This acts better than the one I'm using. It is not. So again, the darkness encroaches all around you, and while that happens, you start taking damage. So you need to run over here and make sure that your health is up. You heal in the light of the lamp there. A corpse of monsters has long been discovered, covered with layer of mud mixed with dried mucus. Okay, and so the idea is that you can come over here. Here's a trap. Now, the hunter and the thief can disarm traps. Oop, something went wrong. And all that means is that I hurt myself. So anyway, what you do, I find it, what's best to do is you get hurt and then you turn around and you run back into the light to heal yourself. If you hit the escape, it brings you here and it shows you all the commands at the bottom. So jump, potions, lantern, bestiary, whatever. So if we hit the tab, it shows us our skills. Dodge seems to be important. From what I can gather, dodge in combat, you just straight up duck damage. Like you just straight up don't take damage. Okay, this is rusty, so we're going to take that simply because you want to back a weapon. Your weapons do take damage. So that's something to consider. Okay, right now we don't need anything. Our armor is significantly better than what most of these guys have. Look into that. Then break through the stone vault, skillful people appeared as Krails, working hard all day and night. They erected thousands of halls. And I believe there's another one over here. Go look at. Yeah, there you go. We were born deep underground. The right path is inscribed by fate. Our enemy is fierce, bloodthirsty, and angry, but Sewell helps us to survive. Okay, so there's like lore and stuff going on. And again, basically this whole first room is just a bunch of stuff to equip a character. Following the wisest course came, and the will of the Most High was conveyed to us. Our duty to find the way to the surface, and Thurda inherited from the Dark Ones. Thurda is not a great name. And then this one, Divas as beautiful as flowers, they arose by the will of the Father of the Void. Sorrow and anxiety in the souls of all, they dispelled their songs, dances, and laughter. Okay, so this obviously this guy's got nothing going on. This guy's got nothing going on. So yeah, so basically this whole first room is just to like pick up stuff. But you start equipped anyway, so I'm not 100% certain why they felt that was particularly necessary. But in any event, here we go. So we bumble through, and you have to be careful because there's a lot of stuff. This two-headed sword is significantly better than the one we have, so we'll take that. From what I've seen, there's a spooter in this room, I'm pretty sure. It is much better to have a two-handed weapon than the sword and shield. The sword and shield, so you'll see the combat here in a sec. I'll fight here in the light, so I don't have to. An interesting thing to also note is that the monsters can in fact hit each other. So if you can lead them into a thing, you'll see that, and you can interrupt them. So, as you saw there, was that medium armor any good? Better. No, it's not any better than, ooh, Rewar's. Like that. Am I wearing that now? Okay. Oop, no, something went wrong here. I gotta be careful because the loot. All right, so you gotta be careful. You can only wear one suit of armor at a time. And you definitely prefer that rusty axe. And you can only really have one-handed weapon at a time. So although you can carry backups, so let's have a look at this. This is the great axe here. It has a lot more damage. The sword, well, actually, it's not even that different. It's a little bit more damage. And the sword has better cut probability. And as you can see, the magic is played found. I didn't take any damage in that exchange, which is pretty good. You'll see these things in the alcoves. If you occasionally run into one, you will be able to light it up, and you want to light it up. Every time you see the possibility of turning on a light, you want to take it. So also in typical, it's kind of like, dare I say, Soulsy in the fact that it's a brutal combat system. Constitution +1. This is actually pretty good. You want to be careful. The stat ups help significantly. For right now, I'm just going to leave that. See if this two-handed axe is significantly better. Painful shock. Yeah, it's tough to say. It's 6 of one and a half a dozen other. I'm better with axes than I am with swords, so I'm just going to take the axe. But the hunter is not a strong character, so you have to kind of keep that in mind. But one of the things you'll also notice is that no, I guess they don't have any lingering terrible effects, so that you can get kind of lingering injuries, and they don't get fixed until you can rest, and it is a minute until you can find a place to rest in this game. So we come around, we're looking at all the little nooks and crevasses, and of course there's the, still using DDO controls. So if we search the spider, you see he's all of a sudden you start searching it, and you can come up with poison glands. And if you get 3 of those, then you have a little bit of a, what? Pressing knife, no thanks. Oh, there's a chest here. I wasn't here before. Look at that. So that you can only so if I try to rest here, if I go to the bed and try to rest, it's like it's not safe. So obviously you don't want to do that. If it's telling you it's not safe, it's not kidding. It's not safe, and you do not want to get jumped. And again, there's normally some guy hiding in this room. So what we do, this is another lamp. So we'll grab that quickly. Okay. Oh, wow. That's... Oh, man, that's huge. So the loot tends to be a little bit random. See this guy right here? He's not a friend. He's not at all a friend. Oh, this thing. Yeah, this thing is bad news. You absolutely don't want to be messing around with this thing. That thing is called a Nis, and it is bad times. So the lamp went out. Now it took me a minute to figure this out, but you've got to go into your inventory and pick a lamp. As soon as the lamp runs out, fuel remaining. So we might as well use this one. Because it's almost out of fuel anyway, so we'll use that first. But yeah, as you see, you only heal in the light of these lamps. Well, you do heal the rest of the time, but you heal 2,000% faster in the light of the lamp. So obviously you want to be like using that. Now you see me picking up these coins, and all the coins do is they allow you to mark your path. So if I drop a coin here, it will be, even if I turn my lamp off, you can see the coin. Okay, it's a subtle marker to let you know the places you've been, because there's nothing to buy down here. It even says that in the game. It's like there's nothing to buy down here, but you can use it to mark your path. Actually, let's see. Oops, no, sorry, I want to pick that up. Okay, so if I go to the inventory, just show me coins. There's an unusual ancient coin is made of unknown sparkling metal. There are no living merchant here, so the coins can be used to denote visited places. There's more chance of not getting lost in the darkness in the underground labyrinth. So yeah, that's basically, in a nutshell, that's what it's telling you, is that you just use them to mark your path. Now as we come through, we find this dead guy's. You can hear there's something mumbling around in the dark. And again, there's beds, but the only way you can rest and if we look at my thing, you'll see that it's got armor, damage, weapon damage. It shows you all of your status. Okay. So until you can rest. All right. Okay. Oop. There we go. We turn on the light. And it'll show you that. It'll show you touch of Dargroth. It's recovering. Let's see what this. Ooh, there's an ancient book in this bin down here. You can only read the books when you're resting. So, like. Ooh, look at that. Old Axe of Bistior's Warriors. It's the same damage, more defense, less weight. I'm taking it. Plus it looks pimp. Look at that. Look at that thing. I really wish there was a way to, like, circle the camera so you could, like, see your stuff a little bit better. Skellington, what has he got? This man's flesh is decayed long ago. Only a century old bones covered in a thick layer of grime remain. Is this also active? No, it's not. That's not good. Okay, so... Ooh. You gotta be careful, because anything you see on the ground might be something you can interact with, like this unknown mechanism. Yeah, that's a trap. That's a trap right there. Turns out it was a trap. Is that gonna be like a lingering problem? No, thank God. Okay. So clearly my trap skills were inadequate to the task. So what I'll do is I'll drop a coin here so I know I've been there. No, you're not dead yet. Oh, I died. So you gotta be careful. So that's the thing that happens, and I don't even get to see what that thing was over there. But as it turns out, oh, that's something different. I haven't seen him before. So let's try the blacksmith now. Just show you the difference in the combat style. Because again, it seems that the dodge is significantly more valuable than defense. Dargroth, Garrison, Blacksmith. One day, due to an unfortunate mistake, a young baron died. He fell from a horse that you shod. You have been sentenced to serve here in the cursed garrison, so you began to forge weapons and armors for soldiers and learned how to handle a warhammer. Your wife died in childbirth, and the little daughter was left at home. It seems you haven't seen her in years, and now you're sinking ever deeper into the hopeless darkness. So, like I said, it's pretty grim. All right, so here's our boy. Here's the thing. We don't need any of these guys. We don't care. We've read all this already. Read that. I'm not sure if that forges a story or not. We'll take it. And of course, there's a lantern, which I missed on like the first 3 playthroughs. As you can see, both the warrior and the blacksmith start with their health low. I think it starts with a fixed amount of health. And so, like, for both of them, I had to go and stand in the and the light to get all their health back. Right, let's turn that on. If you hit E again. Okay, so this one is a terrible old axe. Whatever. Loot that for right now. I'll look into what does this say. We flew without counting centuries and years, and the ancient stones were sharpened by water. But nevertheless, the will of the Father was fulfilled, and we have passed the great path to the end. Okay. Same thing sticking out of the junk there. We look over here, and this hammer, oops, this hammer is better than ours, so we'll take that. Again, the blacksmith can't do anything about the traps, so you just have to avoid them. He can't use a shield, so if that's your thing, you can do that. Can't avoid the trap. Generally, hammers and great axes seem to be a lot more damage, so either your strategy needs to revolve around oh, interesting, rusty Rior's warrior armor. Oh well, oops, crap. And see, that puts it, if it's in red, it's telling you that it's going to put you over. Equipment is heavy. So if I go in here and I look at this stuff, it's like, all right, you got to kind of like make a call about what it is you're going to carry around. I don't know if there's a way to improve your strength. I did find potions that seem to have effects, but a potion can also be poisoned. So you have to be careful about what it is you're going to pick up off the ground. Now, somewhere in here, there's a dude with a hammer. Where the heck was that guy? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We'll stick with the two-hander for right now. Because my boy here can, in fact, use heavy armor. Oh, there it is. The hammer is... yeah, the hammer is not as much damage as the axe. You can improve in other weapons if you just keep using them. That being said, you're better off to kind of stick with the stuff you know. Okay, I won't pick that up because I'm already using something better. Now, one thing you will notice is that you'll notice that two-handed weapon takes him out in a hurry. So we're just going to turn my lamp off here. Turn it back on. Again, you're just trying to avoid, see, again, you're conscious, you have to continually be conscious of the weight. So this is actually a lot more defense. So I'm actually going to loot that. In this chest, what do we got? Crack it. So as you see, every time you start doing something, you get experience for it, right? There we go. Oh man, that's a big win. Yellow lamp, take it. Loot, and I think that will automatically equip. If I look at it, and there we go. So if it's got the little hand beside it, it means it's equipped. Took me a minute to figure that out last time. So again, over here. So it seems like some of these things are in fact, oh wow, and you can get knocked down, as you can see. You can hear me, but if you get knocked down, you don't get up anytime soon. So you're definitely looking for what you can duck with the space bar. There we go. So, but that's the lamp went out. So what we need to do is grab this lamp off the table. Keep hitting the Q, still using DDO controls. Grindstone allows you to repair weapons. Ancient book. Another grindstone. Okay, that's good. The grindstones are in fact valuable. So let's go this way this time. I know where there's another restaurant. So here's the trap. And you walk past it. And and then there's a hole. If you fall into the hole, that's just certain death. So can't recall, but that's basically where we need to be going, is over there. Let's open this up. And this guy, he's got... Again, we definitely need to... The forced armor is actually pretty good. You cannot rest in any room that doesn't have a door you can't close. Oops. So it seems, at least in my experience, that the one-handed weapon does a lot more damage just because it swings so much faster. Boogeyman, what is this? This is called Spark in the Dark. I don't know if I can, there you go, Spark in the Dark. This is a demo, from what I'm assuming is a Russian company. Seems pretty sexy so far. But again, it is just a demo, so there you have to expect a little bit of jank and stuff. But I saw another guy playing this, and I'm like, nah, I'm going to give that a shot, because it looks pretty hot. Yeah, I'm absolutely going to take that. Okay. I don't think it is. It's just kind of their own take on whatever. Because, again, the classes are nothing like D&D, you know? Like, right now I'm playing a blacksmith. You know? And it's like, again, strength, dexterity, perception, constitution, will. Like, it's not anything like D&D. It's just their kind of their own take on whatever. I enjoy this. Actually, I really like where they're going with this. Hopefully, if they can keep it up, they might be onto something. I like the fact that I can crowbar into stuff. Pretty happy with that. I don't need that. Thank you anyway. What do we got in the chest? Oh, that's what I just dumped off. All right. So now that we have a room, we can, in fact, rest. And then this gives you the opportunity to go through your journal if you want. It does have a bestiary, so you can go and you can see all the different monsters. Nest fast and resilient, these hideous creatures have excellent eyesight in the dark. Suddenly sneaking up on their victim, they inflict blinding and bleeding wounds on it. Incredibly dangerous creatures. The corpse spiders, huge creatures with strong claws and deadly poisons. Hardy and fast, these monsters are especially dangerous if they attack in a flock. The dark growth has long been shrouded in the sticky web of these vile monsters, and I think the featured spider says the same thing. Yeah. So again, then you go through and you can check your ancient levels, and if you want, you can read the books. So this is the only, for whatever reason, this is the only place you can read a book. Great luminaries of the universe warned various worlds in their rays, and attraction lulled them, swinging around them. One of these sparks in the endless darkness was Turda. That's a terrible name. The godless world. Once upon a time, it was inhabited by creatures that lived unconsciously like inferior creatures. No one ruled over them, no one followed or looked after them. They lived and died without any goals, and Turda itself was turned into the same disgusting place as themselves. This is how the world saw the great Sul, the god of emptiness. He felt that Turda had a chance to become a wonderful place. She just needed care and attention, and then the Great Father decided to create life. So there you go. So far, nothing is actually damaged in my inventory, so I don't have a chance to repair anything. It does have the little fire pit there, which is a nice touch, I feel. So yeah, I've been enjoying this. The only thing it'd be nice if the angles were more than that. Old metal shield. Wow, that's a lot of defense. Holy jeez. I'm gonna take that. Nice. I'm just gonna take that. I'm just gonna straight up take that. Drop some coins on the floor so I can find my way back. Old Master's Blade, that's interesting. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to drop a coin here. And again, we're just dropping the coins to mark our path. You can't buy anything with them. Rusty steel hammer. Not as good as my rusty axe. Okay. And it took me, I thought these were bodies, but apparently there's just roots. This, on the other hand, is in fact a body. And that's a guy. I gotta be careful. I gotta get away from him because I think I can turn that lamp on. If I can turn that lamp on. Ooh, yeah. And that's why you don't want to get tagged. Mine is better. Turn on the light. Now I think it might be a permanent injury. Yeah, see, concussion. The permanent injuries you can only get rid of when you're resting. I need the Elder Mechanical Key. Now, if I recall correctly,